Yeah, Poor here. How we doing? Just gonna give you a weekly update, see where we're at, and yeah, get into some stocks and the market conditions and some stories from the last week. So without further ado, let's do this. So some of the big stories this week. One was the collapse of Luna Terra, which is a cryptocurrency. It was supposed to be a stable coin pegged to the dollar. So for everyone you owned, it was a dollar. Like Terra, or not Terra, excuse me, Tether. Now there's fears that Tether is going to go the same way that Luna Terra did. Terra Luna, however you want to call it. I never really understood the reason behind that because selling your cryptos into another crypto is still a taxable event according to the IRS. So why not just sell into a dollar rather than these stable coins? I mean, some people get interest on some exchanges. I live in a place where that doesn't work, so that was never an issue for me. But I didn't really understand the utility of it based on the risk to reward ratio because at the end of the day, it is a crypto. Crypto is an experimental thing. It's still developing. Bitcoin is honestly far more stable than a lot of other things. I mean, people are ragging on Bitcoin right now. It's down 55% from all-time highs. It's been down 85% from all-time highs in different bear cycles. And 55% down, still better than probably half the stocks in most people's portfolios at this point. So, I mean, you can rag on it all you want. It's actually more stable than some markets. Um, so I that's why I don't really like to invest in, altcoins a lot. I like to research the projects I'm in and I like to look at them. Ethereum's been around a long time. Ethereum's not going to go anywhere. Ethereum is essentially Bitcoin 2.0, the smart contracts, all that stuff. Cardano is working on becoming Ethereum 2.0 or Bitcoin 3.0. So I only really own those three. There are other projects that I looked into. I bought a couple of them just to see, but I didn't put a lot of money in. And that's another thing I probably feel like I was lacking on when I was talking about crypto during the bull market is that you shouldn't be putting in more than 10% of your portfolios into crypto. You just it's experimental. It's new. It's a new asset class. It's still learning the ropes. Like you're getting ETFs on the market that'll let you trade cryptos now. You're getting stock exchanges that'll let you trade cryptos. You're getting crypto exchanges that'll let you trade stocks. I'm sure that anyone who's watching this video has probably seen, the financial education channel and, you know, all those people meet Kevin and they're all bragging and ragging about FTX as their sponsor, which is basically going to be start trading stocks and cryptos. So I'm not sponsored. So that's just, not that's not a shot at them in any way, shape, or form. I understand that's where how you make money, all that things. I'm just not big enough to be worthy, so it's fine. I don't need a sponsor because I don't do this as my full-time job. This is fun for me. And when it stopped being fun because I had other responsibilities to do, I had to put a break on it. But we're back. I'm having fun. See the fun? Um, but yeah, I mean, the entire market has been just bloodied and bloodied and bloodied. However, on Thursday and Friday, we thought we might have seen a reversal. I mean, let's take a look at the SPY. This is the S&P 500. It's the basically fun for them. This SPY tracks the S&P 500. And we started the week up around like 407, somewhere in there, and we got to a low of 385. Like this was just everything was so low. Palantir was down in the $6 range. Tattooed Chef was in the $6 range. It was nuts. Like everything just there was no values. I margin calls were happening all the way down from here down to here, all over the place. It didn't matter. There was no safe space. And then we started seeing an uptick. People started putting money back in the market. I feel like it's been 2 days, so I'm not ready to say that this is a reversal. But you do have people saying that maybe the bottom is in. You have, I mean, and so seeking alpha is basically this article. It says the bear market rally start or has started, so we're on the upswing, but the fall hasn't finished. So, I mean, the dichotomy on that title alone leads you to believe that seeking alpha doesn't really know what the hell's going on. Um, and then there's the Google Trends of recession. Like if you look, I mean, the blue line here is the recession, and it's just been on an uptick and an uptick. And compared to bear market and stock market crash, it's actually above those search terms as well. And this isn't complete data, but they believe that it's going to be on an uptick again for the last 2 weeks. Take that as you will. And when people start paying more and more attention to these things, is usually an indication that these things are happening. But this is lagging by about 2 weeks. So I think you may see this on a downtrend, just like you saw the CPI data go from 8.3 year over year to 8.5 year over year to 8.3. So we saw the first glimpse of a possible slowdown of inflation and that sort of thing. Though I'm not sure that that's going to last because gas prices have started swinging madly higher over the last week and a half. And gas prices go, so do inflation. I mean, everything is based around gas. Every big rig you see on the highway that's transporting goods of anything, whether it be electrical, grocery, what have you, livestock, all powered by diesel, which is in my area over $6. It's it's insane. Diesel is supposed to be cheaper than normal gas. It's not as heavily refined, so it was cheaper to make. So why is it higher than gas now? Is because they're putting all these green initiatives in to tax it to make it higher than gas, which if that's the case, why wouldn't you just let these big turn these big rigs, the new ones coming out into unleaded? Just do that, and then diesel no longer be needed, no longer be a thing, and you can save a shit ton of money. Because why use diesel? Why? Why use it if it's more expensive? The whole reason it was created was because it was less expensive to make. So that's my rant on that. But with those gas prices, you're going to get higher food prices. You're going to get higher prices for everything, which is going to stop spending on everything because people need to save their money for gas. And I heard somewhere that someone expects Shell actually expects gas prices to eclipse $8 by September, October. If that's true, minimum wage workers aren't going to go to work because it's going to be cheaper for them to stay home. You're going to see a society collapsing on itself real quick if that's true. And based on everything I've seen, it's a 50-50 swing right now for me. Like, I don't know. It could get worse. It could. I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping that the market rebounds and rallies, gas prices come down, the war in Ukraine ends, stops, slows down, just ends, really. And that some of these macroeconomic factors we see start to curb and we can start getting some lower numbers on inflation, lower numbers on the CPI and PPI. Um, and turn the ship because at the rate the ship's going right now, and we're the Titanic and that iceberg is dead ahead. Like it's gonna happen if things don't change. So that's not to be all doom and gloom. I'm not trying to be that guy. Like the last 2 days, if they continue the rally, then yeah, I'm great because I've been buying this dip. Like I sold out of some stuff in the crypto side before the Lunaterra thing happened. And then I bought stocks with that money because I was overexposed to crypto based on my portfolios. So I've been buying some very deep discounted stocks that were, 80% down even from their highs. But you find a good company that, I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to be, a perma bull or anything on some of these companies, but there are companies out there right now that just have, if you were to take all their assets and pay off all their debt and then sell everything that is an asset, you would have a higher price per share for those companies than their current share price. So they're worth more in their assets, their IP, and their contracts than they are per share. That makes zero sense for a company to be worth more than their current market cap. Like it just that's weird. That's stupid. It's usually the other way around with like the forward PEs and things like they're selling at like a 17 to 1 price ratio, price to earnings ratio, like, or, in some cases like Tesla, wildly 100 share, 100 price per share earnings ratio. It's just, it's nuts to have like inverted, like a point less than one price to earnings ratio. Like that's silly. Don't do that. I will buy you. Assuming these companies don't go bankrupt because they have no debt, like some of the ones that I'm invested in, zero debt on their balance sheets. They actually hold, reserves of cash that are pretty substantial. The Joseph Carlson show was talking about how Amazon is actually cheaper than Google right now, just based off of how they invest in themselves and create new business, outlets. It's not just a website where you can buy damn near anything. It's, they also have their web service and all that crap. So it really depends on the due diligence you've done and the companies you like as to what you're investing in. But I know that it's been painful for the past 7 months just to watch your portfolio go down. I mean, you guys saw the public portfolio. Um, I don't know if you can see it now, but we were at 38, almost 40,000 at the all-time highs in this portfolio. It's currently trading at 16,000. We hit a low of 12,000. And I poured money into this. Like I put $3,000 in the one day and I lost 3,500. So, I mean, at this point, I've put in damn near $30,000 into this portfolio, and it's at half that. I'm down my own money by like 50%, but I wasn't buying options. I was buying hard stocks. I have some options. They don't expire till 2024. Um, but yeah, the short-term options aren't really where the money's at in a market like this. I mean, yeah, you might have made a shit ton on puts, but it was risky because it can turn around at any minute. You don't know. And when it turns, it's gonna go. It's gonna fly. Basically, look at it like a spring that's been compressed, and eventually, when that spring pops, it's gonna go. So that's what I got for you. Um, just I'm hopeful because the SPY's back over 400 that we might be able to get back into that 420 range before things start coming back down a little. But I don't know. I really don't know. No one knows. Anyone who tells you they know, I wouldn't listen to them. I wouldn't pay attention because they can say all they want. They can, be pretty with their technical analysis and things and like, yeah, based on this, it's gonna go this way. In a bear market, you really don't know who's gonna win day to day. If it's the Bears, if it's the Bulls, or if there's some news out there that's gonna happen. I mean, if we wake up Monday and the war's over in Ukraine, yeah, it's over. Cool. You're gonna see a huge stock market rally, huge rally. And that's a macroeconomic factor that no one has control over when it's happening. So you gotta stay frosty. You gotta be a lookout for great deals. You don't put money into these markets that you can't afford to lose. That was always what we said. We didn't say it as much in the later episodes, but always, always make sure that any money you invest is not money that you are afraid to lose, because that's what gets you over leveraged. Don't do margin. I mean, I've done a little bit of margin, but don't do a shit ton of margin. Those margin calls are not a joke. They will force you to sell things at the all-time low, and you will feel like shit afterwards. Don't do it. So keep your assets, hold. It could get worse. We could be getting better. We'll find out soon enough. If you have any stocks that you want me to cover, put it in the comments. Let me know, and we'll try and go over them. But at this point, just be prepared for more pain. And if it doesn't come, I hope you've been buying this dip because this is a theoretically once in a lifetime dip, even though it's been happening every 8 to 12 years or earlier. I mean, with the Rona, it was about 2 years ago. So, and then 2008. Yeah. All these once in a lifetime events that keep happening in my lifetime, I feel like aren't all that once in a lifetime anymore, you know? Like every other year it's once in a lifetime event. It's causing this crazy thing to happen. I don't know if we're on the darkest timeline or what, but it's uh it's definitely interesting to see these things keep happening. And They keep saying that it's once in a lifetime, yet I'm still kicking every time they say it. So trade well, be safe, and good luck.